Hi, my name is Sarah Dozier, and this is my Understanding by Design unit. Understanding by Design unit. The title of my unit is Operations and Algebraic Thinking. The curriculum area is math. Grade level would be first. I'm going to teach this in the second 9 weeks, and it is developed by me, Sarah Dozier. Stage 1 is to identify the desired results. Content standard, the first standard was AR Math Content 1.OA.C.6, and it's add and subtract within 20, demonstrating computational fluency for addition and subtraction within 10. And then the second one is AR Math Content 1.OA.D.A, 8, and it is determine the unknown whole number in an addition or subtraction equation relating three whole numbers. The understandings, which are the overarching understandings, are the various strategies can be used to quickly add numbers. Strategies can be used to decompose complex problems to make them easier. Counting on, make a 10, doubles, doubles plus 1. The equal sign is used to represent quantities that have the same value. Word problems have the basic problem-solving structures: adding to, taking from, putting together, taking apart, and comparing. Numbers can be grouped in different ways to solve word problems with 3 add-ins. And this is what I want my students to gain. The related misconceptions that could come with this lesson is whenever the word more is used in a story problem, the operation of addition is required. For example, if in the story problem Angela has 3 apples, Susan has 8 apples, how many more apples does Susan have? Some students might see the keyword more and add 3 plus 8 equals 11. While the equation 3 plus 8 equals 11 is mathematically correct, it does not accurately answer the question of how many more apples Susan has. Thinking subtraction is commutative. For example, 10 minus 6 equals 6 minus 10, and those are not equal. And believing that addition and subtraction are unrelated, which can lead to difficulty in mastering subtraction facts. The essential questions, the overarching ones, are why do I need mathematical operations? How do I know which mathematical operation to use? What are different ways to count? What are the most efficient ways to count? In what ways can numbers be composed and decomposed? What questions can be answered using addition and or subtraction? How do I add 3 numbers together? The topical questions would be, what strategy will I use to quickly add numbers? What is the best strategy to use for a specific problem? How are addition and subtraction related? What keywords are in a word problem that tells what operation to use? And how does counting help in solving a word problem? The knowledge, students will know how to quickly add numbers, how to compose and decompose numbers, how to group numbers in different ways to solve word problems with 3 add-ins, how to add and subtract within 20 with efficient strategies. The skills, students will be able to add and subtract within 20, solve problems with 3 add-ins, compose and decompose numbers, use various strategies to help them solve addition and subtraction problems, and demonstrate fluency for addition and subtraction within 10. Stage 2 is the assessment evidence. Performance task description. The goal is for the students to be able to add and subtract within 20 and within 10 fluently. Students should be able to do this without support. The student's role is to transfer their knowledge, and the teacher's role is to coach, to be the facilitator. Audience, first grade students. The situation is the assessment piece will be given whole group. The product performance, I'm going to do 2 different things. One is a CGI problem, and the other one is a minute to win it. The CGI problem is a word problem, and then I have peer sharing, and then I'll pull out certain strategies, and then the minute to win it is it'll have 10 addition problems on one side and 10 subtraction problems on the other, and they'll have a minute to do each side, and they need to have 80% accuracy to present mastery. Stage 2, continued the assessment evidence. The standards are the same from the previous, and then the other evidence that I will do to assess is the observations, work samples, and quizzes. Observations, I will take these while the students are working independently and as they ask and answer questions during instruction. Work samples, at the end of the lesson, I will give exit tickets and take these, and then I will give quizzes, like, for example, I will use the minute to win it. And then other problems such as addition and subtraction within 20. Stage 3 is the learning plan. Where are your students headed? Where have they been? And how will you make sure the students know where they are going? Students have learned how to decompose and compose numbers to 10. It is important that they know how to decompose numbers 1 to 10 so they can add and subtract within 20. Fluency with addition and subtraction within 10 will also aid in strategies with adding and subtracting within 10. How will you hook the students at the beginning of the unit? I will hook the students at the beginning of the unit with hands-on activities such as counters and Unifix cubes. Students are more engaged in the lesson if they are actively involved. What events will help students experience and explore the big ideas and the questions in the unit? How will you equip them with the needed skills and knowledge? Peer sharing is a part of problem-solving lesson. The students will work word problems, and then I will have the students with certain strategies share out. I will have someone share with the least efficient strategy and someone share with the most efficient strategy, and ask questions to pull out what strategy is the most efficient. I will equip the students with the needed skills by making sure that they can decompose and compose 10 fluently and by giving fluency practice every day. To continue the learning plan, how will you cause the students to reflect and rethink? How will you guide them in rehearsing, revising, and refining their work? The lesson will cause students to reflect and rethink by students sharing their strategies. Students will share their strategies, and that can help bring the strategies out in the rest of the class. How will you help students to exhibit and self-evaluate their growing skills, knowledge, and understanding throughout the unit? Students will self-evaluate through discussing their strategies with their peers. Students will also check their work and will self-evaluate while doing so. How will you tailor and otherwise personalize the learning plan to optimize the engagement and effectiveness of all students without compromising the goals of the unit? I will tailor the lesson by changing the numbers according to the student. For the low achievers, I will give them lower numbers, and for the high achievers, I will give them higher numbers. I will do the same for the fluency checks. The students that are struggling may use manipulatives, and the students that are solving the problems quickly will have more problems to solve and higher numbers. And my bibliography, I used these websites and our textbook. Thank you.